Hi, this is Jay Vander. I've solo bootstrapped my automatic audio mixing tool Alex Audio Butler to over 350k revenue over the last 5 years. In this video, I'm going to check out 3 indie products that launched yesterday on itsLaunchday, a product by, pardon my French, Dagobert Renouf. Are you an indie hacker struggling to get your MRR where you want it? Strap in. Let's learn the do's and don'ts of shipping together with the patent-pending Jay Vander MRR Scale. Alright, here we are on itsLaunchday 2. I'll just check out the top 3 products. First one is Hyperfeed.ai by Dave. The blurb is easy AI workflow automation that works like a text editor. So immediately this is very broad. I think it would help a lot if we knew what kind of workflow it could optimize, but let's have a look at the website and also let's check out the socials. So here we are on the landing page. I thought this was a cookie pop-up. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I wanted to immediately click here to get it away. As you can see, the animations actually follow my cursor. So that's, I think, the first don't. I assume every product on launch day, although it also has been featured on a product hunt, is basically a very new product, and almost always that time is better spent on something else than this landing page animation. So I'm now looking up for the pricing. 23 credits, that's good, but how much do the credits cost? How much does a credit take? Magic AI workflow, simple as text. Still, I'm really missing who is this for? And I think that's a very important thing, and especially for indie makers, because your goal is not to become the next cursor or whatever. That's for the venture capitalists. Our goal as indies, in my opinion, is to find a very specific niche that's big enough to maybe get to 100k a year or 100k a month even, but you don't need to hunt the billion-dollar market or billion user market. So here, I think it would be way better to immediately specify who this is made for. So here we see a little bit more what it's about. I'm seeing newsletters, I'm seeing Fartcoin, community blueprints, AI first, not AI only, very nice. Still not clear who this is for. Live data, post directed to your social. So I think this is the first place where I have a feeling who this is for. So maybe I'm drawing now conclusions too fast, but I think that would make for a better product if you immediately say, well, this is for creating content for social media, for example. Then still you could go into a deeper niche. You could maybe still optimize it for certain types of content creators or certain types of social media. So my feedback would be to make it way less general. Choose a very specific customer profile, market to that. Of course, you have to do some research that is big enough to carry, and it also allows for way better targeted marketing. Check the frequently asked questions. What is Hyperfeed.ai? Hyperfeed is a platform that empowers creators. Here we go. So I'd say make that way clearer. So can I check it out? I've managed to get in without signing up and signing in. Sorry, Dave, if that was not the idea. One other thing to say, this site is beautiful. So I'm jealous. I could never build something this beautiful. But then again, it's way too overbuilt, I think. It's better to take one of these features, and that will be a product. That will be a product you could launch. Only the loading. Maybe only this thing. Live search social media thread. Turn a Google search term into a thread. Personal opinion, I don't want to have more automated generated stuff on my Twitter feed, so please also just don't use this. But there might be a market for it. I'm not sure if it's a paying market, so that's maybe my second point. Who are the people paying for this? This is AI generated, so it will cost Dave, the maker, a lot of AI API credits. But then, is this actually valuable? Is this something people would pay for? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm not in this business, so maybe he already has millions of users. But my guess, and I think that's where I'm going to sign off for Hyperfeed by Dave, is this is 1K MRR product. So what could Dave do to go from 1K to 10K to 100K, 1 milli? Well, actually that is the issue. I think he's setting it up like it has to become or wants to become a 1 million MRR. But I think as indie makers, you should not aim for that. You should not copy the strategies of venture capitalists. You should just make a simple tool make that work well, and immediately start marketing and then learn from your customers. So for example, if you have a couple of paying users, maybe only doing this crypto stuff or this media thread generation stuff or this RSS, it is basically a gold mine. This could be a million YouTube transcript. It could be a million products, but now it's basically a nothing product, and it needs a very different kind of marketing power, I think, to get that going. Quick check and shout out for the maker, David Norman. Very optimized banner. Let's give him a follow. If you're watching, give him a follow, give him support. It's all just in good faith, just to be supportive. I think we can all learn a bit. It's a 1,600 followers guy, which is very respectful. That's more than I, but not big enough, I think, to make such a general product. Maybe he has other marketing avenues. Hyperfeed.ai by Dave. Oh, here we can see the pricing. So it's $20 a month, now $10 a month with discount. Not really clear what the pricing strategy is, but it will take a long time as well with this, because you have low margins. So that's one more thought. You have low margins probably with this credit system with API. So to get, of course, you can get to 1K MRR, 10K MRR, but you will not have the 90% profitability margin of normal SaaS stuff. Next up, Harker by Manuela. Hard to guess their names. Assume now that it's French. I don't know. Type faster with your voice. So yeah, well, a little clearer, I want to say. I assume it's just a Whisper clone, or what's the other thing that the vibe coders like to use. $7.49. So both good and bad, I think. So no MRR here, just try to get a quick buck in similar vein to Tony Tin and some other indie makers who are very profitable with making one-time payments. This is more the Daniel Vassallo school of thoughts, which I really enjoy if it's a product that fits this pricing. So let's check out the website, getharker.com. Small thing. If you're an indie maker, just choose a name where you can find the full .com. You're never going to get big enough to buy Harker.com. So now you have this ugly domain, Get Harker, similar, no offense, to itsLaunchday. There are longer names that are more descriptive, that double as marketing. Voice type fast voicer, voice, you get the thing, .com. One of these combinations will be free. Then everybody immediately knows by the name what they expect. Now Harker to me means basically nothing. Hyperfeed.ai, by the way, bit better, I think, but still not the best name. But also, of course, who cares? Just market it and people don't care about the name at all. So type faster with your voice. A minimal and stylish speech-to-text widget for your desktop. I think it's just an app, but that's that's really nitpicking there. Secure offline, always ready. So I think they just made a Whisper wrapper or whatever they can use for it that runs locally. I can download for Mac. Let's see what happens. Ready to talk instead of type. So I can now pay 10 euros from 15 euros, no subscriptions, yours forever. So this is what we say the no-brainer pricing. I think the instant impulse buy pricing. I think you could even make it a little bit more expensive, but that also depends on your target audience. But for me, if I would blindly buy it at $10, I would also buy it blindly at $20. Just also feels maybe too cheap. If I want to buy this, it's going to be something that will be part of my full workflow forever. So maybe it would get more trust if it's a bit more expensive. And now I want to check the video to get a feel for...
Meet Harker, your voice-to-text helper summoned anywhere with a global shortcut. Just speak instead of typing. Like, set up a coupon code for those messaging me about it on x.com. Hit enter and Harker's engine transcribes instantly, completely locally on your Mac.
Okay, yeah. This is cool, right? If it works, then it works. So I think this would help from some testimonials here. I somehow have to trust that this works as in the demo, but this is cool. And I haven't put any research in what else exists. So if this is simpler to set up than the current state of the art, it could work very well. Of course, you need some very good marketing. It somehow has to become the go-to speech-to-text Mac app, basically, and I'm not sure how much there is around. I think I've seen a name which I cannot come up with that everybody uses. Maybe it's hard to set up, maybe it's more expensive, but I think it's a crowded market. So again, maybe what would help is something to differentiate it, some positioning. Why is it different from the other tools that exist? Or do you expect the users not to know that these other things exist? And I think quality will not be the differentiator because they will almost always run on the same SDK. So now to our rating. So of course this is not an MRR product, but this is just a skill. So I think if, what was his name, Manuele, will put all the marketing in it, have the reach, I think this is a 1K MRR product. It's a good 1K MRR because I assume that he did not spend too much time into it and he doesn't need too much time supporting it. So this is actually a good small bet MRR. So if he spent like 2-3 months building this and he spends another 2-3 months marketing, maybe he could get out his efforts. Well, he still needs a big hit. It's still too far off a 10K MRR product with this pricing, with not much differentiability, I'd say. Quick check on the social media. Also, let's give Manuele a follow. Designer, coder, maker, founder at the next layer. Design services for B2B SaaS. So this is probably like even a side hustle. So well done, I think. Maybe he even spent less on it. Hopefully he follows through and does more marketing than just itsLaunchday, because that's another rant and for another video. But that's good. That's a good step. That's interesting. You get some attention, mostly from fellow makers like me. So I think you need to do a lot of marketing for a product like this to succeed. All right, the order got shuffled, but the third one and the last one for this video, this is FounderStack by Simon. He is even the patron. 4 tools to handle social media, AI support, link building, and graphic design. Another one-time payment product in a very different price category, $599. Lifetime deal from $12.99. Simon Hooiberg, I think, is a more known person. Maybe let's start with his social media. 250K subscribers, so that helps a lot. So this is an endless discussion, right? Oh, these guys, they all have just a big audience. It's makes it easier. That's cheating. But well, we all started at 0. I don't have a following, but I made 350K, as I said in the intro, from doing other parts of marketing. But of course, it helps a lot. And if you have it, you have to use it, right? That of course gives a lot of credit and a lot higher expectations. These other 2 guys that I reviewed, they have to find different ways to market because they don't have this 250K subscriber YouTube. They don't have the 150K followers Twitter. So this is a guy who makes content about creating startups like I'm aspiring now with this video and also selling products to them. So this is a very good combination, right? But this is not easy to copy. This takes a long time, I think. You have to both build this audience and build these products. So this is not a get rich quick scheme, but if you have built this, of course, that puts you in a very good position to launch new products and to monetize it. So let's check out what he sells. FounderStack, the ultimate software stack for founders. Where's my water? No water, no hydration. Get instant lifetime access to 4 powerful tools. So he has the social proof first. So basically you buy access to 4 SaaS products, I think, right? At least this one is like a recurring use product. Here are the 4 products. So it's Feed Hive, replaces Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social. So is he trying to get people who did not do this at all before, like me? I don't use a scheduler, a social media scheduler. So I could consider using Feed Hive or the whole stack here. Or is he trying to get people off of Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social? Maybe you have to tell what it does better, but maybe that's just the pricing in this case. Then we have the AI-powered chat and support tool. So this replaces Intercom, Zendesk, Chatbase. I use one of these tools that's not listed here. Not sure how it works with the cost. So me, both from a buyer and as a fellow founder, I don't understand this business model. If you're selling a one-time payment to something that obviously has recurring costs for the seller, for the maker. So how does that work out? So if I'm trying to integrate, especially this kind of stuff, a support tool, you don't want to switch that very often. So if you start to use that, you want to be very sure that it keeps working for the next 5 years. And then at some point, your incentives are not aligned and I actually become a net negative to this company. So what are they going to do then? I have to trust that they have enough marketing that new buyers basically fund my usage. So that's one downside. I really like the one-time payment thing, but it does not fit these kind of products, both as a potential user or as a indie founder. For me, it's a red flag, but I think it will work. Maybe people do not think that long and hard about it. Link shortening and tracking tool. Image editing design tool that replaces Adobe Express, Canva, VistaCreate. So all in all, very, very promising. So what do I think about this? Let me do a quick check. If you also, first one in the list, I go to the site and they sell it with a subscription, either a yearly or a monthly one. So somehow this is a bit of a, dare I say, cash grab to get these OTP one-time payment customers through a different channel, and then still try to double dip and get the people who just come from FeedHive, get them in a subscription model. So that kind of solves that issue of who is going to fund my perpetual usage. Well, these people who have not found this deal. So that's on one hand, I think a good thing. It's just, if you just care about money, it's a quick way to get some revenue. I assume LaunchDay is not the only place where he sells this. Also with the $5.99 pricing, he only needs one sale to get his money back. That's the advantage of this high pricing, right? Let's just say the bundle, right? Because I'm not gonna rate the whole stack. So I think, well, this is not MRR, but the type of size, I think that this is somewhere in between. I think it could do easily 100K total, but because it's not a MRR thing, I think this is maybe still. But what can we learn from that if we don't have this audience, if we don't have this suite that's already finished to sell? That's quite hard, right? Well, maybe don't try to copy this. Maybe start with one thing, maybe build that one thing up, and then know that as long as you can survive outside the value that you already have with your 1K MRR or your 0.5K MRR, you can always build up this whole suite and then kind of cash out by doing this bundle deal. So we have Hyperfeed.ai, very beautiful product, way too beautiful, I'd say. It looks very polished, very many features. But from my instincts, it's not a highly used product so far. So that's time spent polishing and adding features. It's the classic thing, should have been spent in clearer marketing, clearer targeting to a specific user group, and then add features from there. And is this even a problem people want to pay to solve? Then we have Harker, the voice-to-speech tool. This is clearly a problem people want to have solved. I think people would pay for it, especially such a small amount. Maybe I'd even copy it myself. I think it would benefit a lot from some social proof. Some people that have known faces, because if you are not known yourself, you can at least try to get some known users in the community that use it. On the good side, I think it's a low maintenance cost product, so that's very nice. And then lastly, we have this FounderStack by, I think, a giant. This guy is doing very well with his product and his audience. So this, what is my downside? Of course it'll work. And is that because of his skills? Yes, because of his skills he got there. Because of his audience? Yes, he will sell a lot of this bundle and this software in a way that you and I, without this huge reach, without this portfolio of products already, cannot do. But still, I mentioned some things we can learn from that as smaller creators. So if you want to see more of this, comment, like, subscribe. This is just an experiment for me, but I'd love to do more because this is something that interests me even more than my own current product, to be honest. And I think I have some interesting insights to share with the world. Also, if you want your product roasted, yeah, drop a link in the comment. And in any case, thanks for watching.